The Fletcher family lives in the legendary Salem, where a massive witch hunt once unfolded. Marcus is the eldest of the Fletcher children, and his main concern is his younger brother, the restless Jonah. One day Jonah climbs into an abandoned house and finds a strange dagger that mentally connects him to an ancient demon. And although Marcus manages to take the blade from him, the demon is already set to play with his victims and will not give up. Everyone knows the proverb that even the old woman gets into trouble, and all fun and games is a clear example of its justice. In this case, the trouble happened to brothers Anthony and Joe Russo, experienced directors and producers, who began with comedy projects Welcome to Collinwood, You Me and Dupree, and series Arrested Development and Community, then switched to the Marvel Cinemaverse, where they shot the second and third parts of Captain America and 2 final movies of the Avengers franchise, and then went into action movies, producing Dilogy Extraction and the bizarrely absurd Everything Everywhere All at Once. They tried to probe the horror genre too. Again, as producers they participated in the creation of the full-length slow burner Relic, as well as launched the popular series From. But on the supernatural slasher All Fun and Games their seemingly working formula for success suddenly failed them. What's wrong with this movie? Frankly speaking, there are many answers, but the main one is that it has no story. Not in the sense that what's going on doesn't obey some internal logic or anything like that. The problem is deeper. This movie doesn't understand what or who it's about. Any movie, and a horror movie too, is a story about some kind of movement, about growth and, of course, about overcoming. Technically, All Fun and Games has both movement and overcoming, but it doesn't have the bearers of these changes, the characters. The Fletcher family includes 3 children, a single mother and her troublemaking younger brother, but none of these characters have any goals or aspirations that somehow play into the plot of the movie. As soon as the demon shows up with his games, the characters immediately become faceless and willless pawns with an extremely limited set of plot functions. Most of them have to run away, and the one, chosen by the demon, has to catch up. Apparently, it was the Russo brothers as producers, who tried to somehow save the day. It seems, once they were convinced that editing wasn't the answer, because it's not helping the story and not adding depth to the characters, they made a radical decision to cut everything that does not work, and focus on the dynamics and quite graphic violence. As a result, the movie came out to theaters trimmed to a measly 76 minutes. Still, it didn't help. The expectedly mediocre ratings joined the lackluster box office, which even the popular actors Asa Butterfield and Natalie Dyer in the lead roles did not affect. And now there was a digital release of the so-called full version, 20 minutes longer, but still no better. It's still a stultifyingly straightforward slasher for the very unsophisticated viewers, in which no one is interesting and no one is sympathetic.